Welcome to our special meeting of the City Council, Rancho Mirage. It's the Library and Observatory Board, Housing Authority Board, and the City Council representing the Redevelopment Successor Agency. And this is Wednesday, August 17th, and this is 10 a.m. So welcome. 7 what? August 7th. What did I say? Whatever it is. It's the 7th, for all those that are watching. We don't want to confuse you. Anyway, so why don't we start off with our flag salute? And why don't we have Jeremy lead us in the flag salute?
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Jeremy. And Christy, would you please call roll?
Of course. Councilmember Kite,
Here.
Councilmember Townsend,
Here.
Councilmember Weil,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Hobart,
Here.
and Mayor Smotrich.
Here. And this is the time for non-agenda public comments. So if you have anything you would like to say, it's an opportunity for the public to speak on issues that are not on the agenda for a maximum of 3 minutes per speaker. And we have two people that would like to make comment. The first one is Peter Donnie. Welcome, and could you tell us where you reside?
Thank you. Peter Donnie, I'm from Rancho Mirage.
Can you speak a little closer?
Peter Donnie, I'm from Rancho Mirage, and I apologize in advance. I'm a very reluctant public speaker. I would just like to propose for the city to consider banning the use of Roundup weed killer and the use of gas-powered leaf blowers in the city. For obvious reasons, the dangers of the Roundup weed killer, but also
Could you speak up a little bit?
Sure. Just for the obvious reasons of the very dangerous.
Do you want to recap what you just started with, please?
I don't think anybody
We didn't get it.
has the
okay.
slightest idea.
No.
Sorry. I would just like to propose for the city to consider banning the use of Roundup weed killer and the use of gas-powered leaf blowers. I won't take up any more of your time of providing any further information of the dangers of using this chemical or the nuisance of using the gas-powered leaf blowers. And I know that this is not a back and forth of answering questions, but I'm hoping that somebody can use the email that I provided to the city clerk to contact me, to work with me to help me do so. And I think that's it. So I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I'm sure our city clerk will pass your message on to the rest of us. Thank you. The next speaker will be Brad Anderson.
Thank you, Brad Anderson. I live on Ferber Drive in the city of Rancho Mirage. I want to hit on two things today. The first thing is the mosquito and vector control district. Again, I can't emphasize how disappointed I am in that organization, and just because, well, West Nile has been allowed to continue in this valley for a long time, and I hold them personally responsible. And because the staff there, the administrative staff, it's all in-house, meaning they are brought up from within, meaning the qualifications, my opinion, are not there to actually hold the positions that they hold. And because of that, that's why we have the West Nile and the abundance of mosquitoes that we have this year. And I want to emphasize that even, it came to my attention that we had an accident or an incident with a helicopter treatment in Palm Springs where it actually fell out of the sky. And that's an issue that I've never heard about. I don't know if you guys have, maybe. But that's something that we should know about. And actually, I'm looking into that right now. But that's confirmed to me anyway, and I'm confirming it to you. And that needs to be reported. And now I'm going to hit on my neighbor. My neighbor has been running a home-based business for a decade, maybe. And it's been allowed to continue by factors related to the city. And And I've done the money, follow the money, and it all leads around back to here. And I guess my main emphasis is that everybody has bad neighbors, okay? And not everybody's going to be a good neighbor. But if you're going to allow these businesses to take place next to residential houses, don't make them know somebody at City Hall to have that happen. Let everybody do it. That's really my emphasis on that. And I would.
What is the product that the person sells? What's going on?
They sell large art. You've probably seen it across the street over at the Art Arboretum. So they're becoming bigger. There's deliveries every day. Well, most every day. And I've been harking on this forever. And I wrote a letter today. I submitted it to the code compliance again today. So it's on record. And if you'd like, I can email that to you too. It's just, like I said, everybody has bad neighbors, but they're, instead of just getting along, they apparently appear that they possibly know somebody at City Hall, so they can use that authority to maybe gain more influence and kind of try to get away with things. And they do. I mean, they put.
What is your evidence that they know somebody at City Hall that's giving them laxity?
My evidence is that Mr. Kite sponsored some of their art over there at the Arboretum. And Mr. Hines, the past
He's
city
been
council.
dead for a few years, so
Yeah, he started it. He's the one that actually initiated the City Hall exhibits. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anderson. Okay, we will now move on to City Council Board Member comments. We'll start with Charlie.
I will pass, we're on vacation.
Okay, thank you. And Dana, did you have any
nothing,
comments?
thank you.
Nothing from Dana? Ted?
No comment today, thank you.
Okay, and Richard? You're going to pass too. All right, well, I have no comments either, so we will move on to our city manager comments.
Just wanted to give a shout out to Katie Stice in our audience. The Taste of Summer is going fantastic, and it's because of her hard work. So thank you, Katie, for everything you do for the chamber. The council has 3 items on the consent calendar for consideration. Item number 1 is the receive and file of the June 30th, 2019 quarterly treasurer's report. Item number 2 are contracts. There's 1 contract on the list for equipment upgrades for RMTV. And item number 3 are demands, and staff is here to answer any questions.
Okay. No questions from the public? Any
Move
questions from?
approval of the consent calendar?
Second.
Okay, all right, so we have a motion and a second, please vote.
Anybody want to speak on it from the audience?
Before we vote, is there anyone from the audience who would like to speak on any of these issues on our consent calendar?
Yes.
Okay, seeing none, we'll go back to the motion and the second. We'll close the public comments and take a vote.
And motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Christy. Okay, so now we shall move on to item number 4, and that is going to be handled by Tiana Macamole. She is our Senior Management Analyst, and this is regarding a resolution approving adjusted electrical generation rate schedule for Rancho Mirage Energy Authority Community Aggregation Program. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council. The item I'll be discussing today is a resolution approving adjusted electric generation rate schedules for Rancho Mirage Energy Authority, RMEA. The program continues to do well, as you can see by the highlights on this screen. We're saving the community money on their electric bills and putting money directly back into residents' pockets through rebates. We're here today because Southern California Edison, SCE, has recently implemented a rate adjustment. RMEA reviews and adjusts rates alongside SCE so we can ensure the program's 5% savings. Today's action is for council to reconfirm that savings, and it is staff's recommendation to adjust RMEA rate schedules to reconfirm the 5% savings provided to customers. That concludes my presentation, and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Tiana. Any questions from the council? Richard?
This one. Tiana, how often do we have a review generally for this kind of an increase?
How often do we adjust our rates?
Right.
This year, this is our 4th rate adjustment, and we do it alongside SCE.
really important to keep our rates up with SCE rates, just so make sure that our residents receive their 5% savings on an
Absolutely.
ongoing basis. Good work.
Isaiah, did you wish to make a comment? Okay. Any comments from the public? Okay. Here's Mr. Anderson.
Thank you again. I know this probably isn't directly related to the increases, but I think my understanding of reading through this contract years, whenever you guys first installed this, because you kind of hijacked my Southern California Edison account, but I think possibly you would probably be the judge or the authority on this, but I attended the cemetery district in Cathedral City meeting, and I found out some interesting thing about Edison and using their power during the day. They had to restrict use at night or something like that, where they had to water during the daytime. And I just thought, I don't know, my understanding is that you could possibly offer this service to that cemetery, especially being a special district, so they don't have to really waste resources by using power during the day to water at daytime. Well, anyway, I just thought maybe that's something you can maybe offer them. I don't know if that's something you can do or not, but I understand when I was reading through that, possibly later on you would invite outside the city limits participation into this program. Thank you. Sorry. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
We don't have the ability to offer this program outside of city limits.
Okay. Well, thank you for your comments, and no other comments from the public? We'll close the public comments and ask the council to make a motion.
I'll make the motion that the City Council adopt Resolution Number 2019 next in order, adjusting electrical generation rate schedule for Rancho Mirage Energy Authority Community Aggregation Program.
Okay, okay, we have a motion and a second. Please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. And now we'll move on to our action calendar and item number 5. And this is going to be handled by Bob Rukik, Library and Observatory Operations Manager. And this is regarding the approval of projection mapping project and literary legacy naming opportunities. And welcome, Bob.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Today we're talking about the projection mapping project for the Rancho Mirage Observatory. It's essentially to allow us to continue more events, to give us more opportunities to host daytime events and events in inclement weather as well. So in the first year of operation for the observatory, it was wildly successful. We had almost 14,000 visitors. Most of those came through our stargazing parties and our tours, but also our Connecting Children to the Stars. We hosted about 1,000 school children throughout the year. Projection mapping is, you can see it in this photo. It allows us to turn the interior of the dome into just any night sky that we pick. And Eric, our astronomer, can use software and actually create a custom tour through any part of the night sky. We can go to any specific destination and back. And the mapping includes the projectors, the computer system to do it, and also speakers to enhance the experience for people who are coming. So it lets us have a planetarium on the inside. We get to have custom content. And one of the issues we've had, which we didn't really anticipate, was that we've had to cancel several stargazing events. If it was cloudy, if it got too windy, things like that, the dome will actually close itself to protect itself from inclement weather. So if we have this, we can be open more nights, and we can also do things on nights where there's a full moon. We can also give school children a bit more of a break from the heat during our tour and have it inside the dome. In January, we had a sample system installed, and many of you got to see it along with our staff and a number of our visitors who were here for the winter, and a couple of school groups actually made it as well. Everyone who saw the demonstration really liked it. We got an enthusiastic response for it. So under the floor of the dome, for those of you who have taken the tour, is a large open space. And in that, we installed base speakers so that when we simulate a rocket taking off, it actually shakes the dome and makes it feel like you will be lifting off. Now, unfortunately, the audio didn't turn out that well for this, but you can see the concept here. So you can see as it was taking off into the night sky, we stopped at a specific planet that Eric had picked out. Then we go towards Saturn. And at this point, the speakers would be making quite a bit of vibration as you continue through the night sky. So we can take children to any specific point. If there's something coming up in the news, we can visit that star, we can visit that galaxy or that system, take them to it, explain it, show it to them, and then also bring them back, show them what a trip would be like.
And Bob, this demo was with two.
This was 3 projectors.
3? And
Yeah,
how many
so
are
this
we
was 3
scoping?
projectors. It's going to be 5 to 6. It's most likely going to be 5.
So even as impressive as this demo was for us, the quality is only going to be enhanced because we're potentially doubling the number of projectors that we saw. So
What's the
it'll sharpen up
timeline
that
on that?
image.
What is the timeline on the upgrade?
So there's going to be the purchase of equipment, things like that, and there will be a lag there. But it's about a 5-day installation. It's 2 days for the electrical, and then to actually install the projectors, install the software, calibrate, and get it ready is 3 days. So it should be a 5-day project.
Very good, right around the corner.
Yep.
Good.
Any other comments or questions from council?
No.
Any questions from the public? We'll close the public comments, and there's not much we can all say about this, except how fabulous it is and how amazing that we can have this in Rancho Mirage and bring a world to children and their families otherwise not visible. So we thank you so much for everything you've done and for the City Council for all the support that has enabled these things to take place. So, may I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, and I'll also comment that the success of the observatory has been beyond any of our anticipation. It has just been terrific, and what a great educational tool, not only for the children, but for the entire valley, and it contributes to the cultural center of the library and the observatory. So congratulations, a great addition. And with that, I'll make a motion that the Library and Observatory Board approve the purchase of the equipment for the projection mapping project and addition of the project to the literary legacy naming opportunity.
And I will second that. Please vote.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, everyone. And now we will move on to Steve Quintanilla, our city attorney, regarding closed session.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The City Council is now going to recess into closed session to confer with the city attorney regarding 3 potential initiation of litigation items. That's pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D4.
Thank you, Steve. And now this meeting is adjourned. See you next time.